obviously.
Hey, I see it.
Hey, sixth graders, welcome to the week of May 12th, 18th. We are excited. I hope you guys are too. It is sunny out. It's springtime. The tulips are blooming. We're doing things with our hands for some reason. What's Plog doing? No one really knows. Ooh, here's the church. Here's the school.
It looks like it hurt.
No, don't do that. All right.
Yeah, stop.
We're going to move on from the hand gestures to the birthday shout-outs. Happy birthday to Eli Villar. Happy birthday, buddy. Also, on the 15th, you share birthdays with Stevie Wonder, the great
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Wonderful.
I thought you were going to go very superstitious with it, but
Yeah.
that's
maybe later.
I thought it was okay.
It's a good song. Yeah.
Great song. As well as Dennis, the freak, the worm, Rodman.
The worm.
That is. YouTube some clips of him. He's a monster on the boards. He's similar to Christopher Plog when it comes to rebounding basketball.
Boom. Rebounds and blocks. Now, Mr. Cathers, in that Last Dance documentary that you're watching, I caught a cool stat about him. He is the only player to ever have 0 points and 20-plus rebounds in a game 7 times. The closest person that has done that, I think there were 2 players, and they did it twice.
Yep, Marcus Camby. Marcus Camby was one of them who's done it twice. That is crazy.
20 rebounds, but he didn't. So
score his own point.
Then offensive rebounds, I'm assuming, but he didn't go back up and put it back up. 0 points.
No, he was just out to Jordan.
Okay.
Or Scotty.
All right.
That's crazy. 7?
I would argue he's the best defensive basketball player to ever play in his own way, because he wasn't like a center, like a 7-foot tall guy or anything, but he was incredible.
What's crazy is that hair. Look at that hair.
Yeah.
He was always impressive with the hair colors. I mean, they were resplendent.
Yeah, it's just weird. If you do look up clips, you'll see him diving for the ball, going into crowds, like absolutely disregarding his body completely. It's nuts.
And cameramen too.
And yeah, that was the Target Center.
Yep.
All right. So our one update for our daily plan stuff for the week. This is a short week, 6th grade. You have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that is it. So on Friday the 15th, that is an off day for you students. That's a professional development day for us teachers, so you have that day off. So it's only 3 days of class, and then you will be turning your stuff in on Monday. So no work on Friday. Enjoy, take the day off, get yourself caught back up with things.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to do that.
All right. Word of the week, and I was vindicated earlier on the pronunciation of this. So it is laissez-faire, and it is an adjective, and the boys don't believe me, but we looked it up and checked the pronunciation guide. Laissez-faire.
Quack.
That's always right.
And it comes from the French, so it means like having a whatever happens attitude. You're chill. And it originally had to do with government, meaning like letting people do what they wish, hands off, if you will. It like supporting a freedom of choice and how you wanted your government to run, but now it can just mean a person who it can be called laissez-faire if they just don't get involved in other people's business. Let people do what they want to do. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You do you, man. You do you.
Exactly.
You do you.
When the United States was young, they really tried to adopt that approach when it came to like either not dealing with people's like personal lives, like letting them do whatever they wanted, or they also did it with business, right? Let the business kind of develop on its own, and then hopefully it'll end up growing really, really fast. So for those of you that are excited about us getting into the Industrial Revolution, that was kind of the government approach that allowed for it to happen. Just let the businesses grow on their own, and unfortunately, in a lot of cases, fail on their own too.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of was the start of our country, even with the fact of the Stamp Act and things like that, and then produced Tea Party. And I mean, that kind of is the focus of all that, the beginning of our country.
And we still have those tensions today. Like, we want to have the freedom of growth in our government, but then we also know that there are times when we need certain regulations and restrictions. And so it's like that balance between laissez-faire, completely hands off, and being like, hey, we might want to step in once or twice because of certain things.
think that's kind of the case with a lot of different things, right? Is always trying to find that balance from one extreme to another. And unfortunately,
Right.
it doesn't really seem like there's always a 100% exact science to it.
Yep.
All right, moving on to this week in history. I picked May 13th for this week. In 1793, Edward Jenner, which is a pretty unknown name in history, which I find kind of fascinating because of what he did. He administered the first smallpox vaccine to 8-year-old James Phipps, which smallpox, as we know when we talked in the Minnesota History Unit, was a disease that killed over 90% of the indigenous population in the United States and in the Caribbean. So this is really the first time that we see any sort of disease prevention that works on a really large scale. So with us, with our novel COVID-19 virus right now, we are in the process of trying to
Very fitting.
and administer one of those vaccines. So hopefully that happens soon. And then in 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition set out from St. Louis to discover all of the land that was in the Louisiana Purchase to the Pacific Ocean. And Mr. Lamprecht and I saw this earlier. I didn't include it, but to the day, May 13th, 1904, 100 years after, the very first Olympics in the United States was held in the city of St. Louis.
Oh,
So
cool.
Yeah, we didn't find whether it was on purpose in St. Louis or not, but that was just a really cool coincidence. Exactly 100 years to the day.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know, but very interesting stuff. Mr. Cather.
all right. On to the 24 problem for this week. We have 14, 4, 4, and 8. Let's see. Mr. Lamprecht's racking his brain over there, trying to get it.
I got 28.
Something. Yeah, that's
I
close.
got 22.
Oh, that'd work if the game was called 22.
Dang it.
Congrats to Isaac, Cameron, Matthews, and Ben for figuring out last week's 24 riddle. Ladies, we need a better showing from you. Let's go. And on to Mr. Lamprecht.
Well, welcome to Coffee Talk. This one's all about Coffee Talk and our old our Saturday Night Live. So I'm going to give you a discussion topic. A peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. Now, today our topic is fruit and the idea that a strawberry is neither a straw or a berry. An apple is neither a pine or an apple. Let's talk about this. Now, in botany, so the study of plant growth, a fruiting body is something that comes from the ovary of a plant and has multiple growths, multiple fruiting floral strands off of it. A berry specifically is grown with only one single fruit per fruiting body. So a strawberry, because there's multiple that grow together, are not actually a berry. Neither are raspberries even. So raspberries and strawberries aren't even berries. But a banana is. A banana is a berry technically. And a pineapple is neither a pine or an apple. It is a large berry. So for instance, pomegranates are berries, kiwi are berries, bananas are berries, and even tomatoes technically are a berry.
See, and I always would say that strawberries were my favorite berry. So I'm glad you cleared that up for me because I've been living in a false reality for
You've
Yes.
been living in a web of lies.
It's technically called an aggregate fruit.
Okay, so it's my favorite aggregate fruit though, definitely.
Yes, you should say. It's just
It's
so
also
such
the
a
only
weird.
fruit. It's the only fruit that whose seeds are on the outside.
Yeah, I had, that's essentially why I came across it. I was making strawberries at my house and chocolate covered strawberries. And so I looked up what technically is this different fruit. And this is what came up.
But they're still fruit, right?
Next week, we're proving whether or not Olaf's statements from Frozen 2 are myth or true.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
going to be fun. Like,
Stay tuned
that
next
water
week.
has memory? Does water
Yeah.
have memory?
Oh, you'll find out next week.
And I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
Or what's the other one? That is passed through like 4 animals or humans or living things before it gets to you.
Yep. I think it's probably an underestimation, but okay.
I didn't need to think about that.
We'll get them all next week.
All right, my turn. Okay, so like Mr. Lamprecht said, and I think, yeah, it was Mr. Lamprecht said that we only have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So we're reading 3 chapters. You are going to read chapter 4, chapter 5, and then you're going to skip to chapter 8. And you have a reading guide like page for each of those. So your reading guide packet this week is quite short, and you don't have any notes packet that you're going to hold on to. So you just have that one packet that you'll get from me and that one packet that you'll return. I haven't looked at the packets from last week. I'm really hoping students were able to follow instructions on the cover sheet because I put a lot of effort into that. And if you do not have if you're getting a reading packet for the chapters rather than the book, that'll be in your packet this week as well. Turn in your Julius Caesar book. Okay.
Caesar book. Turn it in this week. All right.
Please.
First of all, this is for Mr. Cathers because I believe that my 22 that I found was worthy of this. So here's my own candy. There you go, Mr. Cathers.
Thanks.
And this week in social studies, we're going to start off on Tuesday. You're just taking some notes. That's it. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we are going to be working on a new reading guide, which is entitled Railroads, and that's going to be due on Monday. Now, I understand that we have a flex day on Monday, but I figure I could either tell you that it's due on Thursday or Friday, or I could just give you until we have the packets to turn in to get it done, just to give you a little extra time. So we're going to assign it on Wednesday, and I'm not going to expect it until we get the packets to turn in that following week. Otherwise, pretty chill week in social studies. That's just about it.
All right, for regular math, we are working on Unit 12 this week, which is working with nets of solids as well as surface area and volume. So it's 3 days, 3 lessons, 3 homework assignments, 3 warm-ups. It'll keep you busy. So that Friday, you'll have an extra day to maybe finish up some of those assignments. Remember to get those warm-ups done the day that they are assigned. And then on Monday, you're turning in the review from last week, as well as 12.1 to 12.3 homework. For honors math, we are finishing up Unit 3. So we're still working with algebraic expressions, but it's a little tougher. They're working with word problems for both 3.6 and 3.7. And then a review day on Thursday. There'll be a test early next week. And you'll turn in your 3.5 through 3.7, as well as your review on Monday. On to science.
All right, we are continuing into our bridges. We had the base vocabulary that you guys were working on. We will finally get to our bridge introduction, the reason why I care about this particular project. Some of you on the comment threads were talking about, why are we even studying bridges? Well, bridges in civil engineering is probably one of the most important portions of engineering altogether because they're what keep us safe. And when they go wrong, they really go wrong. So we will have our bridges introduction. So Tuesday will be a very easy day of just watching an introduction. And then we will start our bridge building timeline that will last about 4 to 5 days. While I watch the bridge documentary with you and you fill out the video guide, I will even have a piece of paper that when I place it over my face and it says the particular number, so it says number 1, that'll be when it answers the question in the video. So not only will you be able to follow along with the video, you will see when we hit the next question. Nothing on Friday again, and nothing to turn in this week at all for science. On to, I believe, our moment of Zen.
Mm-hmm.
Takes us to a Stevie Wonder song. The song Superstitious, actually I think the song is entitled Superstition, but let me read it for you because the quote I think is very fitting for our COVID quarantine times. Very superstitious, wash your face and hands. Rid me of the problem, do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream, keep me going strong. You don't want to save me, sad is my song. It's very sad when you slow it down.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can leave that on a positive note, which is wash your hands and life will be
Writing
okay.
on the wall. Yeah, 20 seconds, wash your hands, people.
Yep.
You
Wash
don't
your
have to do it during this COVID time.
Don't touch your face.
But get some exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a great week.
Have a great week. Whoop, whoop.
Bye.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.